Shadow Lugia, possibly the best looking Pokemon variant of all time. Just the nostalgia I get from when I see it is a high that can last me for days. The way that it battles, its movement during these old outdated cutscenes, and the smell. Oh, don't even get me started on the smell. Pokemon Shadow XD released on the GameCube October 3rd, 2005. It was the second installment of the first ever true 3D Pokemon RPGs released in the United States just 1 year after the previous game Pokemon Colosseum. This game had so much to offer, and when I say that, I'm referring to Shadow Lugia himself. This morning, I woke up with only one thing in my mind, and that was to capture Shadow Lugia from Pokemon Shadow XD on the GameCube and transfer the Shadow God all the way to Pokemon Home in hopes that one day I'll be able to see him in Pokemon Sword and Shield. And so my journey begins. I start up my GameCube, put in a memory card, and check out my old saves to make sure that my old Shadow Lugia would still be there, waiting for me to come get him. And of course, with my luck, I had already transferred Lugia long ago. I must have erased it because I couldn't find it on any of my older games. The only option now was to erase the data off the memory card and start over with a new game. Replaying Pokemon Shadow XD was really quite the adventure, revisiting old memories and even making new ones. Starting out, I chose to get through the game as fast as I could. After some research, I found that Espeon is a strong choice, so I went with it, catching a Shadow Teddiursa and training and purifying that the whole way through the entire game. Shadow XD's story is just a continuation from the previous Pokemon game that they made on the GameCube. An evil organization has stolen a bunch of Pokemon off of a ship and they're turning each one into a Shadow Pokemon. As the protagonist, it's your job to capture and save all these Shadow Pokemon while defeating Team Cypher and ruining their evil plans. Unlike the traditional Pokemon games, when you travel through a different route between cities and other locations, in this game you basically fast travel from each location with a cool cutscene of your character on a sick moped. Here's one of the cutscenes now, and here's one with the protagonist's sister, and if you slow this one down right here to the right speed, you can see where Pokemon got their tree assets for Pokemon Sword and Shield. So Shadow XD is known for having such a different art direction than usual Pokemon games, and the evil characters in this game are no exception. Although they aren't that memorable, each one has such a unique design that you can't disrespect it. But out of all NPCs, in this game there is one that far outshines the rest, and if you played the game before or the previous game, you know exactly who I'm talking about. And his name is Mirror B. This dude has to be one of the greatest antagonists in Pokemon of all time. I mean, just look at this dude. After defeating Cypher at various locations, we found that their main base is located on an island just off of the coast of the mainland, Citadark Isle. It's one of the most annoying places in the game due to the massive amount of trainers that are lurking around every corner, and you know each one has a Shadow Pokemon that you gotta capture and purify to complete the story 100%. But eventually, we make it to the end, where we can finally catch our beautiful Shadow Lugia. All the hours we put into this game were totally worth it. Not a single hour of this I regretted playing through the game. It was really fun getting to go back and play through the entire game myself, but here we are. Earlier in the game, I did pick up a Master Ball to make catching Lugia a lot easier. We load the Master Ball into the catching machine, and it's as easy as that. We've finally gotten our hands on the Shadow Lugia. Now, normally we would be done here, but the problem with Shadow Lugia is that you can't purify it normally, and it can't be transferred whenever it's all shadow-like, so we have to purify this Lugia somehow, and there is a way to do it, and it's a secret way that if you haven't played the game before or looked it up online, it would take you some guessing to figure it out. So in the purification machine, there is a way that you can purify Pokemon, and you can purify them faster if you have each chamber filled out with max tempo. Now after a little bit of rearranging, we do get each chamber filled up to max tempo, and whenever you put Lugia in there, when every chamber is filled to the max, Lugia can finally be purified. Now our Lugia is ready to be transferred across space and time. So here's the plan on how we're going to transfer Shadow Lugia. Step 1. Trade Lugia to Emerald version on the Game Boy. Step 2. Migrate Lugia from Emerald to Pokemon Platinum version. Step 3. Transfer from Platinum version to Pokemon White 2. Step 4. Stick Shadow Lugia into the Pokemon Bank. And step 5, the final step, bring Lugia from Pokemon Bank all the way over to Pokemon Home. Alright, let's get started. First, we take a copy of our Pokemon Emerald and plug it into the GameCube using a special cable. Now we can trade from the GameCube to the Game Boy. Luckily, I have a Game Boy player adapter on my GameCube, so I can record gameplay of Emerald version to see what Lugia looks like. Now for the next step, we can take our Emerald version and stick it into our Nintendo DS, with our Pokemon Platinum version as well. Once you start up Pokemon Platinum, there is an option to migrate on the main home screen, and from there we log into the game and we go to this little area after the post game, and we can transfer Lugia using a minigame top Safari game over there. And of course, after I catch Lugia, I went into battle just to see what his sprite's going to look like, because I do like looking at these old sprites throughout the generations, just to see what each one's going to look like and if they differ in any way. Now to transfer Lugia from the Generation 4 games to the Generation 5 games. And for this to work, you're going to have a Nintendo DS, not just one, but two, and a copy of Pokemon White or Black, or Pokemon White or Black 2, and my Pokemon Platinum, or Diamond and Pearl, whatever game you use to transfer Lugia with. But once you do that, you have to go on your Pokemon Black and White to this little location where this guy can transfer Pokemon through a little mini game that you have to use the other DS to use the DS download feature to download this little mini game and send your Pokemon. Now the DS, which uses the download feature, is the one that has the mini game. The mini game is one of the worst mini games of all time. So basically, you are slingshotting Pokeballs at your Pokemon as they're jumping through bushes and stuff. I don't know why they couldn't have made these transferring systems a lot easier by just taking a Pokemon and sticking it over. Instead, they had to implement mini games that were timed and took some actual skill at least. But once we capture Lugia, I started up Pokemon White 2 to get a look at him. The moving sprites in Generation 5 are so underrated, and I wish they could have been used in more games. This next step is a lot easier than the last, so all you need for this step is a 3DS and two apps. The first app is the Poke Transporter app, which you download from downloading the Pokemon Bank app, and the Pokemon Bank is the second app that you need. Pokemon Bank is a paid subscription app, so make sure that you have that, and if it's your first time downloading the app, I'm pretty sure that there is a free 30-day trial or free 15-day trial of Pokemon Bank. So we first use the Pokemon Transporter to move Lugia from Pokemon White 2 to the bank, and then from the Pokemon Bank menu, I load Lugia onto a copy of my Ultra Moon game, and just to get a look at it and to use the Pokemon Refresh and to pet him and to feed him, of course. I mean, I wonder how many people in the world have actually had the chance to feed a Shadow Lugia. But once we've had our fun, it's time to put him back into the Pokemon Bank and get him ready for the final move to Pokemon Home. For the final step, you need a Nintendo Switch and the 3DS we used before. I open Pokemon Home on my Switch and begin to request a transfer. On the 3DS and Pokemon Bank, I select the Send to Home feature, where I enter the code which is broadcasted on the Switch screen. And then, after just a few minutes, Lugia has finally made it to his home. Switching over to my phone, we can take one final look at Lugia until he's able to be used in Pokemon Sword and Shield. Scrolling down, we can see Lugia has been awarded the National Ribbon, awarded to only Pokemon who have overcome the evil shadows, proving that he is the true Shadow Lugia. That's not the end of this video just yet. As we were transferring Shadow Lugia, I took into account that I wanted to get some Sword and Shield footage into this video, so I was also transferring other Pokemon from older games into this one with Lugia. And that one Pokemon that I've been transferring along with Lugia is Espeon. The Espeon that we've been using since Shadow XC, the one that we chose to be our partner through the entire game, is now with us in Pokemon Sword and Shield, transferring Espeon all the way from a Generation 3 game to the Generation 8 games. This is as good as it gets, guys. We've been through so much together, and now Espeon is finally able to eat its first plate of curry. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. It really means a lot when you guys leave comments and subscribe and stuff, especially since I take so much time into making these videos. It is very fun for me to play Pokemon, so I really enjoy doing these videos anyways. But any support you guys can give me is really appreciated. So subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like, leave a hint for what you guys want for the next video. I'm down to make more of these kind of videos because I really did enjoy doing this one. It's one of my first ever higher quality videos, and I do appreciate the time that you guys took to watch this video and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.